Generic greetings and welcome back once again to Prison Architect. Today's beverage is a very pure peppermint tea. So welcome back to Prison Architect, where previously we've recently finished off this, which is our mixed category, mixed regime facility in this quite weird shape. It was a bit of a nightmare to build, however, it's made for a bit of an interesting design. And, well, now that we've completed it, we have an option to escape from it. This is Prisoner Doyle, prisoner number 12504874, and we are a medium category of inmate who is just about to be locked up because, as part of the regime for this facility, it basically has at least 2 sets of 2 hours of lockup, and that means that we are confined to the cell for at least a couple of hours. So yeah, we're going to try and escape from this one. It's not the Prison Architect Escapes series, and that's the one where we look at other people's facilities, but we are going to try and escape from this one. We have been fortunate enough to be positioned here, and there is fortunate because, well, escape is it's very fortuitous because we can get from here and then dig out to here. However, we know that there is patrols, we know because we made them, along here where we've got the guard patrols, the dog patrols as well, so they may sniff our tunnel. And I've recently finished off the perimeter wall, which means we need at least 4 items to get under that, so I'm guessing at least maybe 5 minimum items to get to here. And, well, how are we going to do that? Well, we're going to try and steal them. There's 2 workshops in the facility, as well as, well, there's 2 workshops and a laundry, and that's probably the best way of getting items to escape with. So I can basically pick up this here, and this is a wooden pickaxe, and go through the metal detector, which will not trigger unless it triggers because of an error, although you can circumvent it. I'll show you how to do that in a moment. So we're going to pick up both of these, and then you can go to the edge here and then sort of work around like that. That did trigger because the door had been closed, and it wouldn't allow us to go around, say, this little corner piece. However, if that was open, you can sometimes go around. However, the ones you can't go around is actually these. We might be able to go around. Yeah, I managed to get around them ones. As long as there's nothing stopping you, you can work your way around. So we are going to try and escape via tunneling on this one, and I'm just going to make it as simple as possible. I'm just going to go here, start the tunnel, and dig out. And if the dogs find it, then it is what it is. I'm not going to worry about it. Other than that, other escapes are possible. I just don't know how useful they are. So let's just go to start a tunnel and to digging, and then we're going to dig up. We don't have any reputations, by the way, on Prisoner Doyle here. Let me just go to max speed and just dig, because it's going to be through this little bit of the wall, which is now, and then it's outside, and then we have to dig through the perimeter wall. I do think that escape is going to be fairly easy, especially with our starting location here. Now, I did load it up at least 3 times on the escape mode, and it always put us as Prisoner Doyle here in this section. We weren't brought in on the bus like you often are. That can happen if there's a spare cell in the facility. However, there obviously isn't in this one. Let's just hope for a bit of luck. And we've been lucky, that's fine. Yeah, so sometimes if there's a spare cell, they'll be escorted and brought there. And this is the main central section here, as you can see, where we've got... What's going on over there? There's a dead inmate who's going up and down. I think they've been taken out by... Probably been taken out by a guard using the stun button, which is probably set to a bit more than stun. But yeah, let's go ahead and have another run around. So I'm just going to try and find the items that we can dig with, and they have actually respawned. So here is one of them. And then back over to this side, and that will basically be our escape. It's not going to be a long video, this one. You can see on the front here, this is all staff only. I might be able to run out the front, but I don't know if we have to. Let's just see how we get out here, and then I might do that. I might do that as an attempt. I think I can just go straight in here. Yeah, the guard doesn't have visibility. Then we just tunnel up. Yeah. So I don't think we'll get through this with these 2 pieces of equipment. We'll need a 3rd one. Maybe even a 4th, actually. But let's see. Nope, looks like we're actually going to get out there. Right, that was an easy escape. Okay, so, prison to Boyle, no victims, 9 hours and 9 minutes on the nose. No minutes extra. Total score, 10. Right, let me try that again. This time, however, I'm going to do it by, well, a different method. So once again, loading in, and as you can see, we have been assigned Doyle as our inmate. Like I said, I did load up a couple of times, and it was always assigned as to Doyle. So that's what's happened there. So let's just try another way out, and the way out is going to be a simple one. It's walking out the front door, and I don't expect to get anywhere because there are guards with all manner of tasers. However, we've got a lot further than I should have got because I've managed to get to the front door and past it. Okay, let me skip the punishments there and max speed this out. And, well, I am going to start breaking things because if we can do that, it means that I can get some traits. And traits are something that are obviously useful to us because we can then... I'm trying to break stuff, but it's not happening. Although, there we go, there's injured. Let me do skip punishments. Yeah, traits are useful to us because we can pick up things like strong and tough. And let's go with quick as well, and also max speed it out. Naturally, because of our policy, the cell will be searched. So they're going to come in, they're going to search the cell and I believe us, but we've probably already had a search. And then I'm going to start breaking things again. So the way it works is you do hit the things and then you get points for it, if you're not aware how this works. And you can then use those points to get reputation, so you can also use it to skip punishments. It only costs 1. And then you with net positive points. So I'm just going to pick up skilled fighter and deadly and instigator. And the same cycle repeats because I want to gain the points. So we hit them and then we skip punishments. And now you might be able to hear. And they even see... there is some fighting going on next door because we have instigator now. So when we kick off, there is a chance that other people around us will do the same thing. So naturally, I'm not going to pick up anything like swimmer. That's the only trait I don't really need or want. The problem in doing this, by the way, is that eventually we might be moved over to a higher category of area, and I don't want that for us because at least in and around here, it's not too much of a problem. You know, we can gain access to the centre and then we can run out. However, we can't go down to lower risk, which is down here. And if we were to be placed in the high or supermax, which is on the left, then that would mean that we're permanently there and we can't run out through the centre. This is really the only way that we have any chance of getting out here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start smashing up some more stuff. And in this particular case, it's going to be the school desks, because the school desks, classroom desks, are an item that's 1 block. Let me just skip the punishment there because we've been knocked unconscious. And we'll go for deadly. And so we've got extremely strong, extremely tough, extremely deadly. Remember, this facility can have... I'm just going to start smashing these things up here as well. This facility can and does have a lot of the traits that can be learnt by other inmates and passed on. So there's no reason to say why this couldn't happen naturally within the main... Did I take that guard out? If I did, I didn't intend to. Yeah, so this can occur naturally within the prison environment. It's unlikely, but it can happen. It can happen. Let us get the remaining trait, which is skilled fighter, and then I will try and run out. One of the things here, we've got the security room as well, and the security room is for security. Come on, use it, 11. And we have in the CCTV, which controls the CCTV for just this wing, and also the door control system, which again is the doors for this wing, and, well, it goes to the entrance. So breaking it doesn't give us any advantage. There's no advantage to breaking it. So I'm not going to. I don't see any reason to do that. We've been knocked unconscious again. However, I now can pick up all of the traits. So I've got extremely strong, tough, deadly, quick, instigator, and skilled fighter. We've got all those traits. The only thing we don't have is swimming because we don't need it. And, well, we are now just going to try and run out the front door. Now, the advantage is that obviously we do have these traits. The disadvantage is that we don't have a key, which means that, yeah, we might get stopped by the doors. And in fact, that's actually what's happened here. Right. We are being chased by a lot of guards. The problem is I'm also heading towards a kennel, which is suboptimal to say the least, and we've been knocked unconscious. So the doggo was not happy about that, and oh, okay, this is something new. So what's happened there is we were knocked unconscious, and then what's happened is instead of being brought here, we were healed up because of the training of our staff members is such that they can heal us up. So that's what happened there. So you saw we got very near the end, and I reckon with a couple more attempts we could probably make it. The problem is you've got the doggos here, and the doggos are exceptionally savage, to say the least. You can see we are basically hit by them once and taken out twice. That's the ratio, I think, and it means that you just can't get out if there's a dog chasing you. So yeah, and oh, we're being searched as well. Now I think that might be because of past misbehaviour. It also might be because of the metal detectors that have triggered. So I'm just going to try and run out through the door, and oh yeah, right, there you go, and we made it. We did escape with the squad, yes. It says game over, but we did get out. Victims is 2 guards and 1 doggo. Okay, and that is another escape. Is there another way out that we could perhaps go for? Possibly. We could probably set a fire in the facility and then get out and round. Let's try that, shall we? And again, we've been assigned Prisoner Doyle here. Now, this is going to be a little bit more difficult because I need to get a lighter in here. And how am I going to do that? Because I need to get it around there. And, well, it shouldn't be too much of an issue because I can go to parole and realise that that's actually not where a lighter comes from. Where am I going to get a lighter? Actually, it's a little bit more difficult now because I thought parole would lend me one, and they do not. Okay. Let's just have a quick look around here and see what else there is. We're currently on lockup, by the way, and the game has not moved me over. We can pick stuff around here, but that's not going to help. And there's a guard after us. That guard, by the way, is after us. They're wanting to put us into lockdown. Into lockup, but I don't want them to do that, so I'm just trying to run around until the regime changes, in which case they shouldn't stop us. However, I think it's going to happen anyway, because we're going to get cornered, unless I can quickly, and we'll pass them. Okay, you know what, I actually don't think I can. Oh yeah, we're not allowed in here now. Yeah, this guard has got on the radio and they're absolutely furious probably at what we're doing. There is another way of getting out, and that is called, well, there's a taser teleport. So if you're hit by a taser, or sometimes a stun button, basically when you do the shaking animation, if you're near a wall, like for example, if I was to be near sort of this corner here, you can be pushed through it to the other side. So that means you can be pushed through to here and then run out. But that is more of a glitch than anything else, so I don't think we're going to do that. In here, if there is any contraband, I can't see it because it's all over there. You know what? I actually don't think, on reflection now, there would be... Oh, hang on. There you go. The guard's caught up with this. I don't think there would be another main way of escaping. No. Unless, let's say, we do the taser teleport, which I'm hesitant to do because, like I say, it is indeed a bit of a glitch. I'll make one attempt at it. So we'll come out here and we'll go around, and then you need to find a guy with a taser. So there's a guy here. So then what you do is you break something and then you go in the corner, and then if you get tasered, what happens is you can be punched through the wall. And that's not happened. We've been punched into the wall, but they missed with the taser. Yeah, fair enough. Let's skip the punishments. Anyway, we are going to leave it there for now. That has been a bit of Prison Architect with a bit of an escape attempt on our latest facility. We've escaped via tunneling, which is very, very easy. If it was in here, it would be equally as easy in terms of the process. You would be digging and tunneling, and you wouldn't be detected because, well, the dogs can't smell through concrete, so it would only be here where they might detect it. It would just take more time, and that would mean that every time you come out, you could, out of the toilet when you're tunneling, you understand. The guards could spot you, which means you could be detected. So that is a risk there. There's a high risk there. Also, as you're going through the metal detectors, you might trigger that, whether it be because you're carrying metal or it might be a false trigger and you just have to ditch everything. And if you are found with something, they'll search your cell, in which case they'll find the tunnel. And also, every 5 days, this facility has a shakedown or a tunnel search. So there is multiple ways in which, we could have a tunnel detected. I don't think it would be too much of a problem. Obviously, we've just run out the front door. If we could get ourselves a lighter, we could probably burn through, say, around here, around this cell here, or any of the cells that are on the edge, and then you could basically run around and out to the front. You wouldn't be able to go over the perimeter wall, but I don't think it would be too much of a hassle. But we've only had, I think, 7 escapes in this... No, maybe 10 escapes-ish in this prison's lifetime, which is, as things go, not terrible, considering the amount of inmates we have and the categories of inmates as well. Either way, that's been a bit of Prison Architect and a little bit of an escape. If you like what you see, then let me know. If you want to see more of this sort of thing, then I would like to hear that too. And as for new builds and designs and facilities that you would like to see, let me know what you think in the comments. Hope you have enjoyed it. Thanks very much for watching. Take care. And generic partings. Wasn't me.